What causes a well-operating business to suddenly fall into a state of stagnation? It's not the market, it's not the competitors. The real culprit is ambiguity in direction. When goals exist only on presentation slides, when the team works hard but remains misaligned, every passing hour becomes a lost opportunity. Lack of clarity, lack of measurable criteria, and lack of timely feedback. This is the fastest route to decline. In an environment where speed determines survival, alignment in action and transparency in objectives are no longer optional. They are vital for survival. And that is precisely why a method that has transformed the operations of leading enterprises is gradually becoming the new standard for any organization striving for a breakthrough. Part 1. The core mindset of OKRs, objectives and key results. OKRs are not just a management tool. OKRs are a mindset that drives clear, action-oriented thinking. When people know exactly what they are pursuing, what they must achieve, and how success is measured, they become proactive, empowered, and focused. Objectives are no longer confined to the leader's mind, but come alive in every individual across the organization. This is a transparent operating model that creates positive pressure, ignites energy, and fosters internal commitment. There's no room for ambiguity. OKRs are not a task list. OKRs do not require you to list everything you're doing. They require you to answer two questions. What do I want to achieve? And what key results do I need to accomplish to make that a reality? This clarity eliminates comfort zone thinking, pushes people beyond their habitual limits, and compels them to pursue breakthroughs. The amazing thing is, people can start with modest goals, but once those goals become OKRs, they transform into a public commitment, a line that cannot be easily crossed back. OKRs shape a workplace with clear direction. OKRs shape a working environment where everyone sees a clear path forward. People don't act from a place of, I think this matters, but instead from, I know exactly how this contributes, and others know what I'm working on too. The public visibility of OKRs fosters a culture of accountability, not through top-down pressure, but through mutual awareness. When you know your teammates are striving toward their goals, it becomes impossible to remain passive. As a result, productivity and self-discipline grow organically and irresistibly. OKRs operate on a quarterly cycle. The OKR cycle typically follows a quarterly rhythm. This structure enables an organization to maintain a strategic cadence. There's no need to wait until the end of the year to adjust course. Each quarter is a smart reset. If something's off track, it's corrected right away. If it's on track, acceleration begins. OKRs are not constrained by rigid long-term plans. Instead, they promote dynamic, accurate growth, constantly shifting, yet always on course. With this system, any organization can adapt and evolve within chaos. Part 2. The structure of OKRs. A strategic space between ambition and execution. The power of a simple structure. The structure of OKRs is simple but incredibly powerful. It consists of two distinct parts, objectives and key results. The objective is what you want to achieve, a specific, inspiring, and meaningful vision. The key results are your progress indicators, clear, quantitative metrics that help you determine whether you're getting closer to your objective. This combination creates a strategic space, where big ideas are executed through specific, measurable, and transparent actions. Ambition meets precision. Objectives must not be lifeless statements. They should feel challenging, even a little intimidating. Nothing great comes for ease, but ambition alone is not enough. The key results must be measurable, concrete, and unambiguous. Simplify brand perception is too vague, but Host 50 Press calls this quarter is trackable, measurable, and reviewable. The line between dreaming and strategizing is data. That's where the power of OKRs truly lies, turning bold ideas into measurable outcomes. The role of transparency. One of the defining traits of OKRs is transparency. In an organization that applies OKRs correctly, no goals are hidden. Everyone knows what their teammates are working toward. This visibility creates alignment without coercion. When employees see that their goals are tightly linked to team and company goals, intrinsic motivation peaks. Each person clearly understands their value within the bigger picture. And that clarity creates connection, not just compliance. OKRs drive shared purpose. Key results are not tasks. Don't confuse OKRs with a to-do list. Key results are not about tasks, they're about outcomes. Send emails to 1,000 customers is an action, but generate 1,000 qualified leads is a result. What matters is not what you do, but what you achieve. This distinction keeps the organization from getting bogged down in busyness. OKRs shift focus from activity to impact, from motion to value. They help teams cut through noise and zero in on what truly drives growth. The 60 to 70% success rule. Another key feature of OKRs is the expected completion rate. OKRs are not meant to be fully achieved at 100%. If you complete everything too easily, your goals weren't bold enough. The ideal success rate is 60 to 70%. That's the golden zone. enough to stretch you, but not enough to discourage. Anyone setting OKRs properly knows they are walking the fine line between reality and potential. And that's the only place where real growth happens. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. Part 3. Deep analysis of 3 real-life OKR examples. Example 1. Revenue goal. Achieve $1 million in booked revenue. This objective is direct, unambiguous, and reflects the clarity that OKRs demand. It's not a vague promise, it's a quantifiable commitment. What makes this objective powerful is its direct connection to business essentials, cash flow. It's ambitious enough to energize the team, yet specific enough to define success. $1 million isn't a small figure, but it is achievable with focus and the right approach. Key result 1. Generate 50,000 leads per month by December 31st. This is a high number that creates positive pressure on marketing and sales channels. Most importantly, it's an input metric that the team can influence. They can run specific campaigns to generate leads. Key result 2. Close 1,000 deals worth $1,000 each. This is an output metric reflecting actual results. The 2 metrics complement each other. Good leads and strong closing performance will make the goal achievable. Together, they create a cause and effect relationship between pipeline development and revenue generation. Why this example is powerful? Because it connects directly to the lifeblood of the business. It enables every department, marketing, sales, support, to understand how their work contributes to the overarching goal. A marketer no longer feels like they're just writing content, but instead, helping generate 50,000 leads to close $1 million in revenue. When OKRs are crafted well, they tear down silos between departments. Everyone becomes aligned toward the same destination, regardless of their role. Example 2. People goal. Build a world-class sales team. This is a long-term OKR with profound impact. Every organization acknowledges that people are its most valuable asset, yet few actually measure how well they're building their teams. This objective lays the groundwork for a strong recruitment strategy. It doesn't stop at headcount. It emphasizes quality through stringent hiring metrics, setting clear boundaries to avoid hiring the wrong people. Key results. Hire 3 sales development representatives, SDRs. Hire 3 account executives, AEs. Hire 2 sales managers. Maintain a 6:1 interview to hire ratio. This is a textbook example of precision in OKRs. Each number is measurable, trackable, and reflects true recruiting capability. The 6:1 ratio helps preserve quality. When someone says we're building a strong sales team, the follow-up question should be, how strong? How many hires? What targets are you meeting? This OKR provides clear answers. Example 3. Branding goal. Increase brand awareness. This is a goal where many organizations often fall into vagueness and lack of control. But OKRs make the intangible actionable. 3 key results include: organize 50 media interviews, create 20 industry influencer engagements, secure 3 speaking slots at professional conferences. These aren't random figures. They are strategic actions with direct impact on market visibility. The strength of this OKR set. It lies in the ability to quantify something notoriously hard to measure: reputation and recognition. With clear metrics, the organization no longer struggles with questions like, are we becoming more visible? Instead, they track frequency of exposure, quality of engagement, and strategic relevance of each PR activity. Each media briefing or public talk becomes a strategic link in the chain. This way, brand growth doesn't rely on intuition. It's backed by solid data. The strategic impact of all 3 examples. These examples don't just demonstrate how to write good OKRs, they show the strategic reach when OKRs are aligned with the pillars of any organization: revenue, people, and brand. These are the core engines every organization must continually fuel. When set with clear, ambitious, achievable, and measurable standards, OKRs transcend internal tools. They become development manifestos. Any organization that masters the OKR rhythm will gain strategic discipline and breakthrough growth speed. Part 4. The 5 core values OKRs deliver. 1. Strategic focus. OKRs compel organizations to identify what matters most. In a world overflowing with choices, selecting the right priorities is a superpower. Growth is impossible if resources are scattered across every idea. With only 3 to 5 company-level objectives each quarter, the entire system becomes a focused force targeting the right opportunities. Employees are no longer overwhelmed by endless task lists. Everyone knows exactly what to prioritize, what to postpone, and what to ignore. The real power of focus is in creating clear motivation. Employees don't waste time on scattered tasks. They know how their work contributes to the core goals. When tasks are directly linked to OKRs, strategic alignment becomes powerful. Selected objectives serve as guiding lights for all actions. Focus isn't just an efficiency tactic. It's the key to avoiding the trap of meaningless busyness. OKRs help people say no to distractions and yes to what drives real progress. 2. Promoting ambition and breakthroughs. OKRs are not meant to be completed easily at 100%. They are designed to push you, to stretch, commit, and step beyond comfort. The ideal success rate is around 70%, enough to show full effort but leave space for improvement. This cultivates a culture that welcomes challenge and isn't afraid of learning from failure. Organizations no longer fear big goals, because OKRs provide a framework to track them closely. Ambition in OKRs is not about dreaming, it's ambition based on executable metrics. Key results are always measurable, specific, and time-bound. This ensures teams stay focused, not overwhelmed. With a clear direction and structured roadmap, people can break big ambitions into actionable steps. This is how sustainable breakthroughs happen, when the team knows they're reaching beyond limits, but also knows exactly how to move forward, one result at a time. 3. Clear and self-driven accountability. OKRs don't tolerate ambiguity. Every objective is assigned to a specific person or team. When the entire system can see who owns what, you can't hide. But this visibility doesn't create negative pressure. It fosters proactive responsibility. Once you publicly commit, you act on it. You understand your results are part of something bigger. You don't want to be the weak link. Unlike traditional management systems that rely on control, OKRs build responsibility through transparency and trust. Sharing progress and results isn't about reporting, it's about connection. Each update reinforces your presence in the organization's ecosystem. Accountability is no longer a burden from above, it becomes a source of personal pride. When you know you're creating value, your drive comes from within, stronger than any external oversight. 4. Strengthening organizational alignment. One of OKR's greatest strengths is connecting individuals with company-wide goals. You no longer think, my task is A, but instead, A helps complete B for my team and contributes to C at the organizational level. Each layer is linked seamlessly. This connection breaks down departmental walls, eliminates strategic conflicts, and creates a unified flow from leadership to frontline employees. When people see how their work contributes to the bigger picture, they don't work just to complete tasks. They work with purpose. They become part of a mission larger than themselves. This connection erases isolation. Employees don't just go to work, they join a collective journey. OKRs help the entire organization face the same direction, move to the same rhythm, and advance with unified intent, no matter where they are in the system. 5. Maintaining momentum and continuous feedback. OKRs follow quarterly cycles, but their true strength lies in frequent updates, weekly or bi-weekly. Each update is more than a progress report. It's a chance to recalibrate. You don't wait until quarter's end to realize you've gone off course. You pivot midweek. This creates a powerful strategic feedback loop, a nervous system for the organization. Spot problems early, fix them early, save massively. Each OKR update is a pulse that moves the organization forward. It not only fosters a sense of steady progress, but also builds a two-way feedback culture. Employees aren't afraid to report challenges because they know support will come. Managers don't need to guess whether teams are on track. The data speaks for itself. High-frequency updates energize the organization, keeping it alert, agile, and always ready to act. Part 5. 3 strategic mistakes when implementing OKRs. 1. Setting unrealistic expectations. The most common mistake is turning OKRs into a list of unrealistic dreams. If a company believes every goal must always be big and far-reaching, it risks falling into disillusionment. Effective OKRs should be ambitious, but still aligned with execution capability. A 60 to 70% completion rate doesn't mean employees are weak. It means the goal was set high enough to apply growth pressure. But if the target is too detached from reality, the whole team loses motivation. The balance between dreaming and doing is the soul of a successful OKR. 2. Skipping regular check-ins. OKRs are not meant to be stuck on a wall and forgotten. One major mistake is setting objectives at the start of a quarter and waiting until the end to evaluate them. No updates mean no control. Every successful strategy needs a consistent rhythm of monitoring. Ideally, OKRs should be updated weekly or bi-weekly. This allows the team to detect deviations early, adjust course in time, and avoid risk accumulation. An organization using OKRs without periodic updates is like driving with the dashboard turned off. 3. Ignoring small wins. When a team focuses only on end-of-quarter results, it overlooks critical moments, weekly, incremental progress. This mistake drains morale. OKRs aren't just a roadmap to the final destination, they are the journey itself. Every achieved key result, even a small one, should be acknowledged, celebrated, and shared. This builds a winning mindset. Belief isn't fueled only by milestones, it thrives when people feel real progress every week. Recognizing the journey keeps the team energized and emotionally invested. Part 6. The psychological and cultural impact of OKRs. OKRs are not just a management tool, they are a powerful psychological lever. When you clearly see your goal, know how to measure it, and have a specific timeline, your mind activates its action mechanism. Procrastination disappears. The sense of confusion fades. People are most driven when they feel they are making progress. OKRs provide exactly that feeling. Every small achievement becomes a psychological milestone. Employees no longer work out of fear of failure, but from the belief that they are getting closer to something meaningful. An organization that applies OKRs correctly will build a culture of transparency, where people not only know what they're doing, but also know what their peers are striving for. This creates an unprecedented level of connection. No more division between my department and their department. When everyone can see each other's path, empathy grows. The organization becomes a living, breathing system, where each individual is not just a link, but a strategic anchor point. A culture of responsibility emerges naturally, not from command, but from connection and understanding. The greatest impact of OKRs is the sense of belonging. When employees see their goals tied directly to those of the team and company, they no longer feel like hired hands. They become co-creators. They don't just execute. They contribute to building. When your results affect the success of others, you act with more autonomy and discipline. A high-performance culture isn't built from deadlines, but from the sense that we are doing something important together. OKRs are the core driver of that shared meaning. Part 7. OKRs and strategic feedback capability. One of the most overlooked yet critically important values of OKRs is their ability to create a system for strategic feedback. Instead of waiting until the end of the quarter or year to review and correct course, OKRs force the organization to update continuously. Every week, every team, every individual monitors metrics and progress. This constant review allows leaders to make decisions with visibility, not in the dark. The entire system can pivot fast, change tactics, and reallocate resources when needed, not after it's too late. A modern organization cannot rely on rigid plans. Everything changes weekly, sometimes daily. Customers evolve, markets shift, competitors launch new products, and if you don't react quickly, you lose. OKRs help organizations stay in a state of continuous adaptation. When you know exactly what result you're aiming for, you'll be willing to change strategies if the old ones aren't working. Feedback is no longer reactive. It becomes a built-in, proactive cycle embedded in operations. OKRs are the foundation for building a living organization, always watching, adjusting, and evolving. No more gut-driven decisions. No more acting on outdated reports. OKRs turn strategy from abstract theory into the heartbeat of the business. Each key result acts like a sensor. If a metric lags, the system reacts. If a metric exceeds expectations, the system optimizes further. Feedback isn't a luxury, it's the pulse. And OKRs are that pulse, precise, responsive, and full of life. OKRs are not for organizations that want to stay in their comfort zone. They are tools of clarity, speed, and bold commitment. When everyone sees each other and understands one another's goals, friction is inevitable. Some may feel pressured, others will feel ignited. Some companies implement OKRs and break through. Others try and then abandon them. Maybe the issue isn't the tool, but how the organization confronts the truth. When faced with a choice between transparency and the comfort zone, which one will you keep? Only by daring to choose the hard path can an organization become worthy of big outcomes. Thank you for watching the whole video. Please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos.